everyone. This is Allison Medina, VP of Content for RetailX, talking to you today with Sree Menon, Chief Operating Officer for Tophatter, which is a discovery shopping marketplace. Hello, Sree. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Allison?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. For those who aren't familiar with Tophatter, give us the quick pitch of what you guys are about and what you bring to the market.
Well, it's like you said, we are a discovery-based marketplace. So we mobile shopping largely. So what a marketplace just means we don't hold any inventory. It's just like eBay, where a lot of external sellers sell on the platform. But what is unique about our platform is we are not a search-based site. So we are really like a Instagrammable like discovery shopping experience. And we use a lot of gamification techniques. So for instance, we use the auction gamification technique where our products start, let's say $1, and then the auction ends in 90 seconds. So whoever is the winner in those 90 seconds, every bid gets raised by $1 or so. So 90 seconds, whoever was the highest bidder ends up winning the item. So our buyers really love the engaging aspect of the platform, and as well as the fact that they can find really cool, interesting items.
Have fun. Let's play. I love it. Gamification is so huge right now, such a big part of business. So tell me, how has your business been impacted during this COVID-19 pandemic? Good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between?
Well, it's very interesting that we saw an impact on our platform early in January, because some of our sellers and manufacturers are based in China. So when they were impacted, we got to understand what the supply chain issues might be in the future, but we never ever imagined that to be a global pandemic. So we got some early signs, way back then. But then when it ended up becoming a global pandemic, what we saw was the kind of items that we were selling, that changed. People were looking a lot more for essential items. We had a few sellers who were selling masks, and suddenly we saw an explosion in mask selling. The usual toilet paper, before it was fashionable, we were trying to bundle them and sell them for a full year's supply worth of products. And suddenly we're seeing this huge demand for toilet paper. And what is interesting is I could not find toilet paper anywhere here. So luckily, we had just a few left on our platform, and I was able to snag a few and split it with one of my coworkers because it was a year's worth of supply. But yeah, we saw that. We also saw, folks were stuck at home and they couldn't cut their hair. So a bunch of hair products, we saw a huge spike in salon items, hair extensions, hair cutting items and stuff like that. And then because, children and parents are at home and they're trying to entertain themselves, they ended up shopping for a bunch of jewelry kits and puzzles and just the things that you would do when you're staying at home and you really have no other ways of entertainment. So that's a big shift. Yeah,
I call those sanity kits. As a mother of two, I'm with my children right now.
I know, and I want to declare that I have become the resident barber of my household.
New skill sets every day.
Right? Yes, you're exactly right.
So obviously a huge impact on your business. How are you having to pivot your strategies? What new directions are you taking that were not part of the plan that now are suddenly a part of the Tophatter go forward strategy?
This is a very good question. So I think the immediate impact that we saw was just being able to bring the kind of supply that was needed. And what is also interesting when that kind of situation happens, that everyone is pivoting the strategy around trying to meet the demand and match it with the supply. And so supply gets fairly constrained. And our problem was, so we started, the good news for us is our supply chain is fairly global. So we have manufacturers and seller relationships in China and UK and India and what have you. So what we had to do is mm, find ways to be able to lean in to the sellers who had some of that inventory. um, and then there were two things which we don't normally do is we had to kind of promote a lot of those items in the feed because we knew that that was much more in demand. And then we had to, in some cases, we were even looking at taking positions on inventory, which we normally don't do because we're a pure marketplace, but things like toilet paper and stuff like that, because we had some of those old relationships, we were able to take that inventory and then send it to our partner warehouse. So some of those pivots, uh, taking inventory positions, making the UI much more much more oriented towards where the demand was. Those are things that I can think of right now.
So I think everyone right now is focusing on the present and getting through the present current situation. But when you look ahead 3 years, 5 years, where do you envision Top Hatter coming out of this in that duration of time?
This is a very good question. So before, let me give you give you some context of what I think, and then I can tell you where we might fit in the world. Is I do think that online shopping habits have changed significantly, and we hear a lot about people shopping for groceries online, and they may never go back 100% to going to the store and buying groceries because they just understand the simplicity of it. Mm. Similarly, I think with online shopping, you will see a step function change. People are going to be afraid, even if even when shelter in place is completely gone, people are going to be a little afraid going into the stores. So I do think that there will be a permanent shift. It obviously is never going to be 100% online, but a lot of the segments that were resistant or had e-commerce was not primary, was a secondary channel, it might shift to be the primary channel. So having said that, where do we fit in? I really think that, let's first examine who we are. We are a discovery-based shopping experience and which provide a lot of value to our buyers. So if you think about the value element of it, the fact that you do get a lot of deals, and with a recessionary environment in the next 1.5 years or so, we are in a really good place. And I think it also makes sense for us to partner closely with retailers out there who may be not seeing their customers ever come back in the same rate. And as we know, there's a lot of change in the retail industry. So I do think the partnership opportunities for Tophatter and physical retail are plenty. Especially because we are mobile, digital native, and we have a lot of experience all the way from customer acquisition to user experience, and like we were talking about the gamification and engaging experiences, and including global supply chain links. So thinking about that, I think the 3 to 5 year strategy, how I see ourselves evolving, is continuing to be a platform where consumers have fun and engaging experiences and find deals, but expanding it to a retail platform and providing a lot of those discovery experiences that retailers have on our platform and broadening it.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it in the future. I can see it now, the collaboration coming. Well, Sree, thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and please stay well.
You too. Thank you so much for having me, Allison.